Welcome back to another episode of the Healthy with Heartland podcast. My name's Justin Freistadt. I am your host, joined with your favorite co-hosts and creative directors, Simon and Shannon. Good morning.
Good morning, Heartland family.
Good morning. Another healthy day with Heartland.
It's warm today.
Yes, it's the morning. It's the afternoon. It's the evening. Yes, but anyways. So before we get into today's topic, let's get into those announcements.
All right. Just a couple quick announcements for you, Heartland family. We are on the last day of the month for March. So if you are ready to place your reorder special, you're going to go ahead and get that honey spiral glazed ham along with your reorder. And since y'all are tuning in and watching, you get a little bit of a head start. Tomorrow starts our April reorder special, which is going to be a box of marinated chicken absolutely free with your reorder. And we have a ton of awesome flavors, something that the whole family can enjoy. So definitely make sure to take advantage of that this month. Get your reorders scheduled.
What's your favorite one?
My favorite one's, I don't know, I'm a dead tie between the lemon pepper and the southern herb. I don't know.
Southern herb. I like the mesquite.
Nice.
Justin, what about you?
You can't lose with them.
I mean, I like them all, but I would have to say Southern Herb's probably the favorite. That rosemary.
Mm-hmm. It's so good. It's almost like a pesto flavor. Love it. Okay, a couple other things. We do have a kids running series going on in Frederick, which we are hosting. Heartland Foods is hosting it. So if you live in the nearby area, if you'd like your kids to get out and get involved in that, it starts in May. So you can go ahead and sign up on that. It's www.healthykidsrunningseries.org. We'd love to see you there. Or if you visit our Heartland Connect or Foodie page, you can see the signups and scan the QR code to get signed up in there. And last announcement for you, if you are getting your reorder or your delivery this month, make sure to post a picture of your freezer. We have our awesome delivery team who's out there restocking those freezers for you. So we'd love to, hear about your delivery. They can win a little something, and so can you as well. So definitely make sure to participate in that.
Freezer artist.
Yes, your freezer artist, exactly. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the podcast. One quick announcement. Lastly, we are going to have our top tier mastermind on Monday again at 8 p.m. If you guys have been tuning in and listening to that, we have a super exciting announcement that we're actually going to have a guest speaker, Thaddeus Gala. And so, Justin, maybe if you want to talk a little bit about having him on the mastermind and kind of what that's going to entail.
Yeah, this is huge. So you definitely don't want to miss this meeting. Thaddeus, I mean, he shares the stage with some big names. He works directly with Gary Vee, speaks on the same stages. If you go to his Instagram, you can see all the people that he interviews, all the networks that he's in, but he's going to bring us a ton of value in the health space. But he also is an expert in reducing taxes. So if you want to lower your taxes, show up at 8 p.m. on Monday night.
Awesome. Good stuff. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited.
Oh, yeah. I definitely want to save on taxes.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into the podcast today. It's been a little while, and we have such awesome food photos and recipes that everyone from the Heartland family has been sharing onto, the Heartland Connect page and the Heartland Foodie page. So we wanted to just take a moment to kind of feature some of those recent posts and talk a little bit about, the products that everyone's using and
highlight
give
these
some
Heartland
insight.
foodies.
Yeah, definitely. We have some really awesome creative folks out there who are putting together some really awesome recipes. So first, let's start off with Rachel Iluzzi. She's in the group very frequently. This one was one of my favorites, egg roll in a bowl. So she used the Heartland ground turkey, but what's awesome about this is, of course, we have ground pork. We have ground chicken. You could do it with beef. So many different ways you can go about it. And this is a really simple one. You just take the ground beef and mix it with your slaw or your veggies and
ground pork,
whatever sauce you'd like. And it's super simple and delicious.
It's one of my favorite when we're eating low carb because essentially the only part of carbs that you're eating would be that actual
egg roll.
Outside. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the wrapping, but the inside, I mean, you can put a little bit of liquid aminos or something like that. So good.
If you do soy sauce, you can do soy sauce. A liquid aminos or coconut aminos is a good alternative to that if you don't want to do something with a soy base. Or you could do like a stir fry sauce, an oyster sauce, a bunch of different things. Or you could make something from scratch with chili peppers, garlic, keep it real simple, but super delicious.
And we didn't mention, we hope you've already had dinner.
What's that?
I said, so what I notice is because she's using our ground turkey, that's literally just ground breast meat, you don't see any fat or anything that needs to be drained off. It's just a very clean, empty pan around what she's cooking. So quality.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's where I feel like you get the convenience of deciding which you'd like to choose. If you want to do something that's leaner or the 100% white breast meat, like the chicken or the turkey, you have that option. If you want to do the pork, which is more traditional, or if you want to try almost like that beef kind of style stir fry, you can go whichever way you'd like.
Yeah. Mix them all up. That's what I think. Justin, don't you do that?
I do. I'm a big fan of all things blend.
Nice. And I have a picture we can feature with that later. The next one is one I'm really excited about. I don't know, Justin, I think you have a sous vide too, but this one is the Andrioni family, and they seem like they are like sous vide masters. I was telling Simon just before you joined us, Justin, that they were just doing like a brisket, I think, for like they sous vide it for 48 hours. This one's cool though. They did a couple different things. They did a turkey breast, like we have the 3-pound turkey breast, or I think we even have a 5-pound as well. But they did it for 5 hours in the sous vide. And then what's really cool, and I'll zoom in here so you guys can kind of tell, but they finished it off with the butane, the torch.
Wow.
So they kind of torched it and got that like crust. So I was like,
Absolutely.
applause. Well done.
I mean, we have to really recognize how amazing the sous vide technique is here, because
Oh yeah.
thawed it out, put a brine on it, right? Re-vacuum sealed it, and then sous vide, then blow torch to finish.
Yeah.
A+ candy. That's incredible.
It's really good stuff.
And the sous vide, I mean, that's going to cook it perfectly either way.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to literally aesthetically finish it off with the blowtorch.
Exactly. Yeah, you could do the reverse sear.
Don't try this at home, folks.
Or try it and let us know how it goes. Either one. But yeah,
I mean,
super
I like
simple.
that our packaging is sous vide safe. So I use it for a convenience thing. Sometimes I'll take things out frozen, drop them in the sous vide, and let them thaw and cook in one motion.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we did to prep.
Yep. Especially with beef, like if
yeah.
we're gonna do everything at that kind of medium
Same
rare
temperature,
temperature,
yeah.
anyways, we'll just throw a couple steaks in there. I think we did like a skirt steak, some ribeyes. And, you just get everything up to temperature. And what's great is you don't have to rush to cook it. You can't leave it in there for hours and hours, but you can leave it in there at the temperature, and it doesn't overcook past what you set it at. So it's a super good way to get those really good temperatures for beef and other products.
Getting exactly on point. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
We'll have a couple more sous vide photos in here too. The next one is Veronica Gilmore. So she said Heartland knocked it out of the park once again. And this one's skirt steak, which I know, Justin, that's one of your favorites, I believe. So the skirt steaks have been posted all over the Foodie Group recently. We'll see them a little bit later in pizza, in a stir fry. We got all sorts of good stuff going on. So.
Ooh, and Justin, you got a recipe for the skirt steak, right?
Well, marinade that I drop in
Marinade.
there.
Yeah.
That I'm all about the simple and convenience. So if I can just take out, a Lowry's sesame ginger marinade, throw it in a bag with the skirt steak, can't beat it. But what you'll notice on that skirt steak, because it's so fibrous and has that melty, ingrained fat, the marbling is incredible in a skirt steak. So whenever you throw that on a grill, you're going to get flare-ups where the fat's kind of melting. It just gets that nice, barky crust on top. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
My mouth is watering.
Forewarning, don't watch this episode if you're hungry.
That's why I said hopefully you've already eaten dinner.
And that's a really good point too, Justin. What I like about highlighting these photos and these recipes is that there's a huge range, right? If you want to get super like technical and do all these cooking techniques, you definitely can, and you can dress it up and it's amazing. But if you want to just go super simple, and we'll see some of those recipes in here too, it's very easy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the best way to hit a skirt steak like that is just get your grill or your pan as hot as you can and just sear it and send it.
Yep.
Sear it and send it.
Nothing like a hot steak.
Right.
Okay, let's see. This is another one. This is one of our new members, David Peter. We got zucchini and ground chicken enchiladas, and I was looking in there. It looks like they got some corn, some beans, and they rolled it up in the zucchini and then put their sauce and kind of melted the cheese and topped it off with the avocado and cilantro. Looked like a winner, and we had a bunch of people in the comments asking for that recipe.
I was just going to say it was very popular.
Definitely was. But it's a great place for you to come to get some ideas. Great. Maybe if you don't know what to do for dinner, I always get great ideas when I visit the Foodie Group.
Yep. And if you are not part of the Foodie Group, we'll make sure that there's a link up in the description. So you guys can click on that and join the Foodie Group.
Absolutely. We are up to about 3,100 members, I believe.
Yep.
And when we get to 5,000 members, we're actually going to do a giveaway. So if you are...
Tell them what they'll win.
You're going to win $2,500 of farm source products. So Heartland Food. Just for, posting in there in the comments that you've invited your 5 friends to the Heartland Foodie Group. So make sure you go ahead and do that too at the end of this episode.
And is that post is pinned at the top, right?
It is. It's pinned as an announcement. So you'll find it right there at the top, the first couple posts.
Beautiful.
All right, we're back to the Andrionis. We are sous vide again. I think this is the one I was talking about. They did a brisket, and they said that they sous vide it for 48 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
And then they smoked it for 3 hours, and that's what got the really nice bark and crust that you guys can see on there. But I really love this Anova contraption. It looks like it makes sous vide super easy. But even if you don't have that, you can easily put it on a stock pot. We do it in a cooler, as we've mentioned before. We did a Franken-style cooler where we cut a hole in the top and slid it in there. So there's many different ways that you can do, sous vide, even if you don't have this whole setup.
Yep. And again, perfect.
Yeah, I just throw mine on the side of a pot.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep. Super easy. As long as it can get down deep in there where the motor is covered by the water, the stuff that's generating the heat, you're good to go.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
That's still, I mean, look at it. It has a ring and everything.
Yeah, they got the smoke ring. They got a little bit of the burnt ends. Definitely got a nice crust, and I'm sure that comes from the smoker itself.
Yep.
Oh, I'm getting so hungry.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is not going to make it any easier because we're moving to beef ribs, which these look amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Cindy Santiago.
Yeah. And I believe
I'm just so glad we didn't do this while I was on 75 hard.
Oh, yeah. That would have been kind of hard.
Yeah.
These look good, too. She looks like she did them on the grill. I would love to know the technique because I've tried it before, and I did them in the oven, and they were good, but they didn't look this good.
I'm pretty sure it's like the smoker. And she said, I think they used like coffee or something in the seasonings. In the
interesting.
in the comments, they tell you how they did it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, my gosh. It looks great. And beef ribs have a really good beef kind of flavor to them. They have that kind of fat that's right there too. It's so good.
And if you cook them right, they'll fall right off the bone.
Yep.
Yeah, if you normally do baby back pork ribs,
Yeah.
give these a shot. $12.94 on your product list.
Okay. Yeah, the pork baby back ribs are some of our absolute favorites. I love that they're uncooked and unsauced, and you can kind of do your own thing with them if you want to just do a rub, if you want to do a marinade. You can kind of do whatever you like with it. Yep, it does not, and they're so good. So I'm sure the beef are.
And I like doing the whole primal thing where you grab the bone here at the bottom. You know what I mean?
Eat it right off the bone.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good for your dog after too. The bones.
Yeah, you just got to be careful they don't splinter or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so the next one is Patricia Gainey Smith. She did the pork mesquite tenderloin. What's great about our pork tenderloins, if you want to get them just plain and do your own seasonings, again, we have that for you, but we do have some that are pre-marinated as well. So this is the mesquite. She did it in a cast iron skillet, seared each of the sides, and then she finished it off in the oven, and it's still a beautiful kind of pink in there. It looks amazing, perfectly seasoned. And again, this is one of those other ones where you're just kind of you're searing it, you're throwing it in the oven, and you're setting it and forgetting it. When you take it out, you slice it, and dinner's ready.
Yep. And Shannon, you said something there. So you said it does have a kind of a pink hue. Some people may see that and be like, "Oh my goodness, it's not totally cooked."
Yeah.
And it's really the fact that Justin, I don't know if you want to kind of get into it.
Yeah.
Why the pink hue?
Well,
with the pork.
It's darker in color because of the breeding, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not from the commercial supply chain where the food scientists are breeding the flavor out of pork and making it white in appearance. So that's why, quality pork is darker and has that pinker reddish hue to it.
Oh yeah, so much better flavor.
Yeah. A lot of times, especially with conventional pork, it's thought to be able, like, you should be cooking it all the way through. But when you have quality pork that are raised the right way, I always cook mine with that nice, just exactly how Patricia did it, and it's juicy. It doesn't get dried out. It's perfect to reheat, but it's really awesome, and it's just lean meat. It's delicious.
So good. And like you said, seasoned or unseasoned, however you like it. So tender too. Tender and moist. It's really good.
All right, let's check out the next one. All right, so we got skirt steak. Skirt steak is back again. Okay, so this one's Rebecca Mears. She did a skirt steak, she grilled it, and she made an avocado and mango chimichurri. And so, spicing things up with sauces and, little salsas and marinades and things like that, which we always talk about. I thought this one was super interesting. She said that it was her first time trying skirt steak and that it was delicious. And she can't wait to spend more time grilling, as spring and, summer approach. So I thought this was a really great one.
That's awesome. So chimichurri is Argentinian, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And traditionally it's made with like
parsley, oregano,
oil, herbs, and it even has I think citrus, some sort of like lime or lemon that goes with it. And it's cool that she added the fruit, like the mango and the avocado, to it to make it more like a salsa, more chunky. And I could see it going really well with the skirt steak. So that one was good.
Yep. Sign me up all day. Anything cilantro.
All right, so the next one is kind of one of those features, super, super simple. This one's John and Jen Kenny. They did a Creekstone burger. It's the brisket, chuck, and short rib blend, which if you have not tried it, it is amazing. The secret to those, pub style burgers that are super juicy and you just bite into it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It has the perfect amount of fat and flavor. He didn't even need to do it with a bun. That's how delicious it is. And perfect grill marks, if I do say, which Zach mentioned down below. And he just paired it with some potatoes and some corn. So that's a Heartland Foods easy, quick dinner, good tasting, and good for you.
And if you don't know, the Kennys, they're cooking up heat. They have a lot of posts in there that I'm always like, oh my goodness. Like,
yeah, I have a couple
the
in there.
appearance, the flavors, I can imagine what that tastes like.
Yeah, he said it's quick and simple. He did the burger patty. He did the corn, air fried the potatoes, and even the ketchup is from Heartland Foods. So there you go. 100% from Heartland Foods.
I'm just going to say it. The chuck brisket short rib burger is my favorite product on the list.
Yeah. It's so good. There's nothing like it.
And it's so consistent. You know what I mean? Because like you can go every single time, and it never gets old to me. I can always eat one of those burgers, like always.
So awesome.
Right off the grill, cold, however it comes. It's like, I love it.
So good.
It's really good stuff. And what's so awesome is, again, we have it in that ready-to-go burger patty if you want to just go ahead and with that. And we also have it as a 1 pound pack. So if you want to do your own meatloafs, if you want to mix it maybe with something else, you can mix it. You could do 1 pound of regular ground beef, or maybe even the Thousand Hills, and you can mix with this. Anyways, there's so many different combinations. It's almost endless, how many different blends and combinations you can do. And the fact that we have this, extra special kind of blend available too, it's awesome. It's one of those custom, kind of things. Yeah. So.
The secret to the meatloaf, I don't cook it myself. You do. But I've seen you do it with like all the 3 different meats. Like you usually have a little
veal,
beef.
pork, beef.
Oh yeah. Those are
stuff.
Good to go, if I do say so myself.
All right, so let's go on to the next one. We got one from Ellie. Again, I wanted to highlight just this simple, quick little meal. Yeah. She had the Murray's chicken breast. She just cut it into little pieces. And then she had some hard-boiled egg and some carrots. So we always talk about, meal prep, getting stuff ready, having stuff readily available. She even put it in her little Heartland cooler there. But I just loved it, having food that's, quick, easy, tastes delicious, and really, the burgers and the chicken is so good. Like, when we do low carb just in general, like, that's our lifestyle. She's doing
75 hard.
She is doing a specific diet, but it's so good by itself. You don't need to make it a chicken sandwich or a burger. It's good just on its own. So that's the one benefit.
Goes a long way.
Definitely. All right, cool. So that was
Justin, how on 75 hard? Because I think that's why she had this pack. I guess in terms of the diet, is there a actual diet that people follow, or is it just like eating clean?
So you don't have to follow any specific diet. It just says you have to follow a diet. So I guess you can interpret that however you like. But he does say, like, you can't have, like, chocolate and, like, all this other stuff. Can't be, like, an eat whatever you want diet.
Right. Okay. A seafood diet.
So he doesn't tell you which, but you just have to be following a diet of some sort.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. Makes sense. All right. Next one. Oh, I loved this one. So this was Meredith Gordon. She did a homemade chicken noodle soup, perfect for the snowy day. I believe this was the day that it snowed. We weren't expecting it, but it just looked awesome. She's got the Heartland chicken in there. What's awesome too is that we have those whole broilers. So if you do, roast your own chicken, you could take those bones. You could make a stock. You could do it with our turkeys too. So lots of options. You put some Heartland carrots in there. Bone broth and broths are always great. Just in general for, health and gut health, but just in the cold times and the, those times in the winter when we're kind of coming out of those months, going into spring. I thought this was a really great one. And again, it's super simple. You put everything in the pot, you just let it sit, and it gets even more delicious as it kind of sits there and goes on.
And it's one of those like hearty kind of comfort foods.
Definitely.
That is still it's still good for you.
Yeah, and it's one of those scratch made things, right? You don't need to have a lot of different things going on. You can keep it pretty simple.
And with those chicken soups, if you let them sit, like even for 2-3 days, they get even better.
Yeah, the longer you let it sit, the more flavorful it gets, the more flavorful the broth gets. So that's a good tip.
My mouth is just salivating on every picture.
I know. This one was awesome too. This one's Kathy Tabish Fry. She did some Airfryer Chicken. I remember literally seeing this and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks amazing. I don't know how she did like the whatever kind of crust she got on there. I don't know how she did it, but it looks
GBD, golden
absolutely
brown, delicious.
amazing. She said she did it with some cauliflower mac and cheese. And again, there's nothing more, simple than just throwing some boneless chicken breast in the air fryer, and 10 minutes later, you're ready to go.
With the cauliflower mac? Wow. I gotta drop a bomb for that.
So good.
Super good. And the chicken thighs, the chicken breasts, our chicken cutlets, they're all so great in the air fryer. I've tried them all. And I've done them in the oven as well, but the air fryer is super quick, super convenient.
I'm usually a chicken breast guy, but lately the thighs,
The chicken thighs, yeah.
so much flavor. I mean, they have obviously a little bit more fat than the breasts do, but so good.
Super good.
So good. So much flavor in them.
All right. Okay, so this one is Cindy
Cindy.
Parker. I love it. She said it's not super fancy, but it's super good. She did the skirt steak. So again, we got more skirt steak here, and she did it with some onions, mushrooms, and spinach. So again, just a quick topping, a quick kind of sauce, something to go along with it, and it goes a long way.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme.
Yep.
The skirt steak.
Yep, skirt steak's popular.
Justin,
It
that's
looks
probably
like
what
she
you're doing.
kind of cubed it up, and looks good.
Yeah, just chopped it up.
Some
Get a bite of
mushrooms.
everything at once, all the flavors.
Mm.
I like it. I can almost taste it. Oh, this one's really great too. I kind of cut off who's the one who made it. I'm kind of like blanking now, but it was a homemade pizza. They used the Leedy's bacon, which is absolutely fantastic. Whether you like thick cut or the regular thin sliced, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And then also the Murray's chicken, which it looks like they kind of just shredded it down there, put the little cuts of the chicken and the bacon. Of course, you can add some jalapenos, whatever kind of toppings.
goodness.
It looks like they made it keto friendly with 0 net carbs using a certain sweetener and a certain sauce. But yeah, it looks absolutely awesome. I'm thinking that I need to get into pizza making after this, but I've seen some pretty
Wait
good
a minute.
pizzas.
This is a barbecue chicken bacon jalapeno pizza.
Yeah.
That's what I'm. That's. Yep.
It looks amazing.
Like,
And this is keto, this is low carb, and it's homemade.
it doesn't even look like it though. When I was looking at it,
No.
I was like, oh, it looks great. It's just a regular pizza. Then you said it was like no carb, and I'm like, it's insane. What do you know? What was in the dough?
I'm not sure what was in the dough. I don't know if it was a cauliflower crust. I don't know if they made it from scratch. I know that you can make like doughs out of like cream cheese, and like there's so many different things that you can make it out of. So I'm not sure exactly. They didn't describe, but it looks
I'm gonna have to go
awesome.
back and ask because that looks like.
looks
I was
awesome.
not even. I could not have guessed that was going to be a low carb pizza. I thought that was like. An
Yeah,
actual,
we need to figure out who did this because
I know.
credit needs to be given here.
Definitely.
I'm gonna try and figure it out.
All right. Next one. Androni's again. I think I was just trying to get a better picture of this Anova cooker that they're using with the Anova Pro sous vide, just so you guys
They're
can
the
get a
Anova Pros.
full look at it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this was the brisket. This almost looks like a chicken. I'm not sure, but it looks awesome.
And I feel like it's so convenient to use the Anovas because it's just like it's gonna do everything for you. You come back, it's on a timer. You don't really have to worry about it. Whereas like if you want to be in the kitchen and you want to be over top, like sometimes I like to be on the grill and I like to just be over the top of the food, watching it, moving it. You know what I mean, doing that whole kind of thing.
Yep.
Whereas with the Anova, if you got things you got to do, you know what I mean. There's some work you have to do. You can literally just stick it in there, go do something, come back. 10, 15 minutes, however long it's going to take for that to be in there. And it's already good to go. Take 5 minutes, put a little oil in a pan.
Yep, slow cooker style. Just get it done.
So good.
Good stuff.
And convenient. I like that.
We love convenience. All right, so the next one is Heather Verone. This one is because we had so many awesome cobia recipes there for a minute. Everyone was posting awesome cobia recipes. So this is one. I'm not sure exactly which one this is, but I think it's the Betty Crocker lemon caper. Yeah, recipe.
Oh yeah.
She said she finished it off. She omitted the parsley and the sauce, but she said it was delicious either way. And it looks like she served it with a little bit of the capers and some white rice. So again, that one's super, super simple. You're just cooking the fish. You got some white rice. Just put a little sauce on top, and you're good to go. Cobia has been one of, I think, the Heartland family favorites. Since we've gotten it, but even more recently, I've been seeing a lot more posts about it.
So capers are the small flower buds of the capparis shrub that grows in the Mediterranean. Did you know that?
I did not know that. I know they have a delicious and kind of tangy flavor, but I wasn't.
Kind of salty, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of reminds
Love
me
'em.
of olives. A little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Mediterranean. I guess that's kind of.
Yep.
I went to the Googles for that. I don't really know that. I just went to the Googles. So.
All right, another little quick feature here. This one's Ellie again. She did orange tacos, some fish tacos, and I liked them because, again, it was super simple. She just had a little bit of the avocado. She said she did it with some cucumbers and bell peppers on the side, but it's really just the fish, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some avocado and some corn tortillas.
I feel like that way you let the fish kind of like, you know, it speaks for itself. It kind of comes out through that. You don't have to use too many ingredients with it. You just kind of let them all kind of, you know, come together. Yeah. And it has that good kind of, you know, balanced flavor.
Absolutely. And orange roughy is one of those things that, you know, you can't always find all over the place. So it's great that, you know, we have that option as well. All right. So this one's Jennifer Kostick, and she did an Asian bourbon Heartland chicken thigh with pad thai. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this looks awesome. So she did scrambled eggs. She removed it from the pan, stir-fried some of the shredded cabbage, removed that and mixed it in with some soy sauce, some fish sauce, and some water. And then she mixed that all together with some rice noodles. She pressure cooked the thighs, so I'm sure that's like with some sort of Instapot, with ginger, garlic, soy sauce, and bourbon. And then she browned them in
bourbon?
In bourbon, yep. And browned them in the same pan as the noodles, added the liquid to the noodles, and it looked absolutely amazing, like restaurant style.
That gives it that kind of like that kind of crust, that kind of like caramelization. Yep. From the bourbon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looks really good, and it also looks like too she has the like skin on thighs, but we have both options for you if you want to have them boneless with the skin on, if you want them bone in with the skin on, if you want them skinless but with the bone in. We can do all of those different cuts for you. So just depending on what you'd like or what recipe you're going to prepare, we have all those options.
Yep.
Right, next one. All right, this is another quick and simple. So she did the cube Swiss steak. Looks like she did some sort of like breading on it, or did it in the air fryer. Some Heartland lima beans and a little bit of potatoes on the side. And again, this one is quick and simple. Something you can just, you know, get on the table real easy and it tastes delicious. So this is Heather Sanders and family.
Wonderful. And does that have a like the sauce? Did it have what the sauce is? Or?
It didn't. She didn't mention the sauce. Okay. She mentioned that she did cook the steak and the beans in avocado oil, but she has like a little Dijon, looks like sauce there on the side, and that looks really good too.
Oh yeah, just for a little dipping.
Yes.
Especially when you have something crispy. You know, you always want that kind of like creamy kind of texture to go along with it.
And Justin, maybe you could talk a little bit about like the Swiss steak. I don't really know a lot about it, but I know that we have that.
Yeah, it's kind of like sort of ground, but not really. It's like coarsely kind of like tenderized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So it allows you to do something like this where you could kind of, you know, crisp it up or bread it even. I feel like it would be good as like some sort of like, you know, country fried steak or even like a steak and eggs kind of deal. I could see that. I could see that a lot too. So
I believe that's also what they use for Salisbury steak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
Yes.
All right.
I love Salisbury.
So lots of different options with just that one product.
Yep.
All right, this is Heather Sanders again. And what I thought was cool is that she said her 15-year-old made this dinner from Heartland. What? So we got the Alfredo sauce from Heartland. We got the pasta, mixed vegetables, and, of course, our Heartland chicken breast from Murray's Family Farms. And super simple, super delicious. Anyone can do it. And it looks awesome.
I mean, but nicely plated. It's almost like the sauce was like tubed in a, you know?
Yeah. No, it looks phenomenal. Especially, I mean, not that 15-year-olds can't do that, because I've been watching, you know, like the things on Little Chef or whatever, and these kids are phenomenal. So I can believe that a little person did this, but I mean, 15-year-old's not a little person, but still, at 15, I was making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah, I don't know if I was this like, culinary inept, but oh my gosh, this looks awesome.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Well plated.
I mean, this could be in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like a restaurant type of food. And it looks like there's one ingredient. It's made with lots and lots and lots of love.
Yep. That's the most important part, right?
Family.
Definitely. All right, cool. The next one is Sharon Lacey. She said that she used the Heartland ground chicken, I'm getting hungry, to make chicken Kiev meatballs in the fryer. So I don't know, Simon, if you do have the Googles, maybe you want to look up what that specifically is, but this looks amazing.
Sharon, you can't do that.
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. She's got mashed potatoes, some asparagus there, and oof.
So Chicken Kiev is the name used by William Safire for a speech made in Kiev during August 1991 by then U.S. President George H.W. Bush, cautioning Ukrainians against suicidal nationalism.
Oh, so maybe it was because of everything that's going on in Ukraine. She made it.
So in 2018, a bronze miniature sculpture of Chicken Kiev was placed on Horodecki Street in Kiev near the restaurant Chicken Kiev.
Interesting. Well, that's even cool. It's like a little piece of history, but whatever it is, maybe we need the recipe because this looks amazing.
I mean, I just love when there is like, that little crust, and then you kind of like usually bite down into something or cut down into something, and then it's like moist in the middle, and you just get like all those different kind of like flavors all in one. It's just like exploding. I'm like, oh, you got me.
Good stuff, and great use of the ground
Too
chicken.
good.
Yeah, really good stuff. All right, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to move on past that one. All right, so this one was Ellie again. This was a shout out to Zach. I guess she did some custom cuts based on his recommendation, and I want to see what this was. It was top sirloin steak, which she had cut into 1/4 inch slices. Yeah, strips. So little slices. So again, that kind of custom aspect of those products that we carry. And she did it with some sesame sauce and did a steak teriyaki with some green peppers. And I was like, wow, this looks really good too.
If you're a part of the Foodie Group and you aren't following Cooking with Ellie, you need to be, because she comes out, and not only does she post these awesome food photos, she has the recipes there too. So if you want to get inspired and actually try them yourself at home, check out her recipes.
Definitely.
They're so good.
And she's also crushing 75 hard too.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
she
right.
is. So congrats on that. All right, let's move on to another one. Again, this is one of those quick and easies. I just wanted to feature. I thought it was necessary. Liz Dubish, this looks awesome. She got a simple dinner of roasted Brussels sprouts and mushrooms, and then air fried marinated chicken thighs. Simple prep, simple cook, and super delicious looking. So this is another quick and easy, super delicious meal, really healthy, and it's easy for you, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a better option to do something quick and I wouldn't even say easy, because for me cooking is you know what I mean, it is what it is, right? You have to kind of do it and stuff to be, stay healthy and whatnot. But things like this, it makes it so much more tolerable and so much easier to get started. You know what I mean? And especially if you got things going on, you probably got, we don't have kids, but a lot of our customers, they have children, they have sports, especially now baseball season and all the, it's about to come to summertime where there's, everybody's going to be home. You're going to need something that's quick and nutritious. Heartland Foods is the best kind of, the best way to kind of get around that.
Absolutely.
Other than already pre-prepping your Heartland Foods, I would say, pulling out some of these chicken breasts, and then you got the greens to go with it. So I applaud these. These are so good.
And again, if you're, not preparing for it, what's awesome is that these chicken thighs, the chicken breasts, these burgers, all the stuff that we're talking about, you can throw it in some lukewarm water. You can thaw it out in 10 minutes or less. You can get cooking. You can have dinner on the table in 30, 40 minutes. It's possible without you having to go anywhere, do anything crazy. Simple, delicious meals, convenient. All right. Oh, this one's, I guess, shout out to my mom. This one's one she posted. The pork baby back ribs. I'm telling you, we are super fans of these. Looks like she was using the Rufus Teak barbecue sauce, which we no longer have, but it was delicious. And the pork barbecue ribs, we do them in the oven. They're amazing.
She did them in the oven at the beach that one time, and they were fall off the bone. I think that, we were cooking a bunch of them too, and thinking that, maybe we would have had everyone lick the bone. Yeah. Everybody.
They will fall off the bone no matter how you cook them.
Phenomenal.
If you have a smoker, if you have that kind of charcoal grill set up, if you have a green egg, you are set. But even if you don't, you can do a small pan with some water in the bottom, get like a rack and have your ribs kind of on there. You can even put them in, foil or tent it with foil, and then you can start adding on the sauce kind of later on if you want to do some sauce. And then you take off the foil and you let it get under that broiler and kind of get that caramelization. I don't think you can mess them up, and they're always delicious. So definitely check out the pork barbecue baby back ribs from Cheshire Heritage Farms.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
All right. This is another one. We got Christy Bodge. She posted some of the boneless chicken thighs she had. She did them in a stir fry, and she said that her 12-and-a-half-year-old son, he really, really liked it. So that's always great news.
I thought he did this. I was like, again? I was like, oh, man. We need to chop Junior.
Maybe he helped. But no, so, it's something the whole family can enjoy. It's something the kids will love. Super simple. Throw everything in a wok. Throw some sauce on it. You're good to go.
It's a common theme, Picky kids like our food.
Yep.
See it all the time.
Yep.
And not only do they like it, they can cook it.
Yep.
They're cooking it themselves. So what's better than that? You go home and your 15-year-old's already got dinner on the table. You're like, oh, what?
And then come to the Foodie Group and get some ideas. We're going to stick with this stir fry kind of theme. We're going to move on to, this is Giovanni Smith. She did chicken stir fry, boneless chicken thighs again. So we're sticking with the chicken thighs, and then a homemade stir fry sauce with vegetables. #hungry with Heartland. I am hungry after looking at this post. It looks awesome. Super good.
I am hungry. I'm thirsty.
It's good stuff.
All of it.
All right, just another feature from Ellie. She's using the 4-ounce chicken cutlets. So I thought that people could see, there is specific recipes that you can use these cuts for.
Yep.
She did a chicken piccata because they're already super thin. You don't need to be like tenderizing them or pounding them out for, hours and hours. She did a quick breading. And again, we put that caper kind of butter sauce on it. And there's nothing better.
Piccata, that's one of my favorite Italian dishes.
Yep,
That and
piccata.
a Marsala.
We got a bunch of piccata fans and Marsala fans.
Oh,
We got a
yeah.
lot of Marsala fans.
Yep.
This is another one that she did. Again, same ingredients. Here's the ground chicken. Here's just another idea. So she did chicken Cordon Bleu meatballs. Normally you got chicken Cordon Bleu. She put the whole thing in a bowl, kind of mixed it together.
Crazy.
Again, bake it in the oven, put it in the air fryer. There's so many different ideas. I love, hearing from y'all.
How did you think of that?
I don't know.
Chicken Cordon Bleu meatballs.
It's a great.
I love chicken Cordon.
Great creativity
Never thought I'd
involved
put it
as
in
well. Yeah. Awesome. Rachel Lucy, we're back again. She's got another one. She said this is one from a childhood classic, and she used all the pantry items from Heartland Foods. She made a tuna noodle casserole, so it looks like she's got some peas in there. She's got the pasta, maybe even some Parmesan cheese sprinkled on top. Looks really good. This is definitely a classic. One thing I remember eating a lot growing up, and you crushed it. It looks really good.
Wow. Oh, that's why you were trying to make that.
I was trying to make it, Rachel. You gave me the idea. Here's
I
another
understand.
quick one. Here's Leslie Lewis Dorsey. She's cooking everything with Heartland. She had breakfast, lunch, she had dinner, bunch of different things. So I just wanted to show a couple of those things that she was cooking up there.
Sorry, I was
She
trying to tell
definitely
you
had
to
some.
hold the mic.
Oh, sorry about that. Some bacon. Let's see. Next one, we got Lee Brody. She's doing lemon pepper chicken with Heartland green beans, and just add a sweet potato on the side there for your carbs, and you're good to go.
The green beans.
The green beans
Those
are awesome.
Talk
About
an
vegetables
MVP.
kids love.
Like, I used to have, you know what I mean? Like, I used to hate green beans. Like, it was like the worst. The ones that come out of the can and stuff, you're hiding them in your napkin and stuff. Like, when you're little, you don't want to eat them. You're like, no, I don't want these. I had these with just the little bit of salt and a little bit of, you don't even need to put salt. Just a little bit of the oil to cook them up real quick.
Yeah.
And if you have a waterless cooker, you don't even need that.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about the crisp crunch through them.
That's the thing is a lot of people assume because, our vegetables are frozen, and again, we have that flash quick froze feature. So it's a lot different than just traditional, frozen vegetables. So you are going to get that really fresh flavor, like as if they were never frozen, and that crisp sort of crunch, when you bite into them. And the green beans is definitely one you can tell on that.
Yeah.
Super good.
Just don't boil them.
Okay.
Don't boil. Oh, yeah, because you were saying you
Get
boil all
mushy?
the nutrients out.
Oh,
Yeah, you basically cook all the nutrients into the water that you're boiling it in, then you dump them out.
Right.
that's why the waterless cooker is so important.
Mm.
It cooks
Steaming
it
is
with steam.
second best.
Yeah. All right, we got Zach here. We couldn't do a foodie post without Zach.
The custom cut, man.
He had some surf and turf going on here. He did some Creekstone Farms filet, cobia, with cauliflower and spinach gnocchi. And then this one was interesting.
gnocchi.
Truff, my apologies. Truff makes a hot sauce. They do like a black truffle and a white truffle hot sauce. It's amazing. Justin, I think you introduced us to that.
Yep.
They got some sort of pasta sauce, like an arrabbiata pasta sauce that Truff is making. I don't know.
Which is
but
the best.
I need it right now.
We love arrabbiata. We have not had this sauce.
I have not had the sauce, and it just
Always
all of this-
arrabbiata.
oh my
Nice and spicy.
Yeah.
gosh.
So good.
Wow. Well, Zach, that looks awesome.
We're gonna
Thanks
get
for
that
making
sauce.
me hungry. Definitely gonna have to check that sauce out.
As
And
he
I-
says,
Pictures, I mean.
rare plus.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. And this one, he also said he did 2 extra chicken breasts so that he could have his meal prep for tomorrow. So always a
great.
quick tip.
I wonder if
That's
you
it.
cook it in
You're going to
the.
be cooking anyways. You may as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cook a little extra so that you got more and make your meal prep easier.
That's right.
Let's see. Another feature, we got Veronica Gilmore. She did salmon and edamame, both from Heartland Foods. Looks like she did a little sauce on here. That looks awesome.
The salmon even has that nice
Shout out
kinda
to
cold
Veronica.
crust.
She's actually getting her delivery this morning, probably as we speak.
Sweet.
Hey,
Awesome. Delivery day
congratulations.
is the best.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So the next one, we got Melissa Rodriguez. Again, she said meal prepping is so easy when all the food is there at your fingertips. So you got steak and potatoes for breakfast, and she did Greek chicken power bowls for lunch. Next week is going to be so delicious. So again, something to look forward to. You're prepped. You're ready to go. You're not like worried about what you're going to do, what you're going to eat. It's ready to go, and it's easy, and it tastes delicious, and it's good for you.
Yep. Saves you so much time. If you prep it, forget about it, and then you got it right then and there.
Yep.
That's the easiest way to kind of stay on track.
And if you're going to cook anyways, like Justin just said, you might as well cook a couple extra pieces.
Why not?
That's what I do. I am sheet pan. That is my life because I will just put 4 pans in the oven at one time. I got chicken on one. I got Kobe on another. I'll do salmon. And I'm not eating vegetables right now, but I was before. And vegetables would be on the other. And it's easy.
Yep.
I'm done with veggies.
Yeah.
You and I think a few others.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, we could get into it. But
Maybe that will be a separate episode. Let's talk all about vegetables. Let's see. I want to highlight
the
this
worst
one.
part is, because I have to, the worst part is I started to like them. Like, I really started to enjoy them and, like, crave them. And then I was like, but then I started reading that book, and now it's like, it ruined me. Now I'm like, what? I loved Brussels sprouts. Like, I love these things.
I think we're going to need to make a whole episode discussing this conversation.
Some people are probably like, what are you guys talking about?
It just makes eating so simple when you can eliminate an entire food group.
Yes.
True.
Especially when you can supplement, and we've talked about that many times. If you guys are checking out the Heartland content, you've seen the videos about, first form and supplements coming out all last week. So you guys know all about that.
Yep.
This one is a quick one from Frank Shannon Jr. He did a pound of ground beef and the Marco's hot Italian sausage. Oh my gosh, that stuff is amazing. Just had it yesterday. And he stuffed some cabbages with some sauce and served it with veggies on the side.
That's how you do it.
So creativity and deliciousness. Good work.
Applause.
All right, another one. We got orange chicken. I love seeing all these recipe ideas. Orange chicken with white rice and sesame seeds. Super simple. And this was made by Catherine Worrells. And this looks like you could do this in an Instant Pot, in a slow cooker. You could do it on the stove. I'm sure you could do this in many different ways. You could even probably bake or roast your thighs, take them out, shred them up, put the sauce on it. It could be, there's so many different ideas, but this one looks really great.
I need that in my life.
Yeah.
It looks really good. Why get takeout Chinese food when you could make it yourself?
Are you kidding me?
And it's 100 times better.
Are you kidding me? I don't want any kind of takeout. That right there, that home-cooked orange chicken with the sesame seeds. And oh my.
Good job, Catherine. Keeping us hungry. All right, Sharon Lacey is back. Again, she said if you have not tried the cobia, you really, really need to. She pan-fried this with ghee, and she did the everything bagel seasoning as the crust. And so this is another, no sauce, no fancy seasonings, just literally a simple seasoning and cast iron pan.
I would have never thought to use everything bagel seasoning on
Neither have I.
But it sounds like, you know what I mean? Like, that would actually be something that's kind of good, because it's going to give you the toasted, and you always have, toasted sesame or something on your salmon.
Sesame is good with, seafood flavors, and it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Leslie Dorsey again. She's doing Philly cheesesteak dinner, and I just wanted to show kind of how she did it. She did it with the peppers and the onions. She melted the cheese on top, and again, she's always using the cast iron skillet. So I think she was recommending in the comments that we have the shredded steak, the sirloin.
Oh yeah.
And so it's ready to go for Philly cheesesteak time, and it's good stuff.
We do that also on the summer.
We do that a lot
right
too.
On
we
the flat top.
We have a flat top, so we'll just put a bunch of stuff on there, the peppers and onions, and you could make it a Philly cheesesteak bowl.
Oh, we used to do the
you could
peppers
put it
and
on a roll. Good stuff.
Yep.
A bunch of different options. And again, we got the steak. They're using the same Philly cheesesteak stuff. This is Veronica Gilmore and her family, but we're going back to the pizza. They're doing a homemade pizza with some skirt steak on it. We got the Philly cheesesteaks over there. I'm just like, does it get better than this? They also said they used the leftover steak in their omelets, which were killer, and they're not even pictured. So,
my goodness.
really good stuff.
I think the goal for the summer should be to cook a pizza. Seriously.
Maybe we should have a
Everyone's
pizza
doing it.
making contest.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. Heartland pizza.
Because everyone's just, I
Justin's
remember
like, oh my goodness.
John Kenny posted his a while back, and some people are like, should you put pineapples? Should you? I just want to see the creations that they come up with, because the Heartland Foodies, this is something else. Like, this is a better than restaurant, because you know exactly what's in the ingredients.
Yep. And she said if you have not ordered the skirt steaks, you need to.
Begin with skirt steaks.
So I think that's what takeaway from today. Skirt steak is a must.
If you're not getting them, you get them now, because the grill seasoning
it's
coming up.
Grill season is coming.
With this weather that came in today, I feel like a lot of people will be out there.
Stick with us, Heartland fam. We got a couple more here. We got Catherine Worrells. This is a chicken marsala. Again, we got the Murray's Family Farm chicken. You got some broccoli, thaw it out real quick, put some mashed potatoes. Super simple and delicious. So now we got chicken cordon bleu, we got marsala, we got piccata, we got everything here. If you need ideas, come to the Heartland Foodie Group. We got you. Another one from John Kenny real quick. He did top sirloin roast from Creekstone. Fresh coarse ground peppercorns, Himalayan pink salt, Italian seasoning. He cooked it on the Traeger grill for $3.50 for about an hour. He said it was a little bit more than medium, but that's okay. Topped it with a red wine reduction sauce, corn, and mashed potatoes.
Yep.
Like, wow.
I love everything that they do. The one thing I will say, though, is Justin put me on, instead of Himalayan pink salt, to the Redmond's real salt.
Oh, yeah.
It still get that same
It makes a difference.
delicious flavor,
Food
but
tastes
it's
so great with it.
Yep.
It's really
It's
good.
way better for you too.
Right.
Yes. Having that, it's mined in the U.S. and it's a mined salt. So it's not a salt that they're iodizing, adding, iodine and things to it. It's
Definitely don't want
just
that.
mined. It's from the earth. They will put it in the shaker for you and you're good to go.
Where?
Shoot, I want to say like Utah. I don't know exactly where it is,
Salt,
but I know.
Salt Flats of Utah.
Okay,
Salt
yeah,
Flats of
so
Utah, sorry.
yeah, Utah, but it's definitely in the U.S. and
US based,
They
yeah.
mine it, and it's pretty cool actually. If you visit their website, they have a lot of really great information about their products.
From their salt,
they do
Justin,
more
now
than
we-
just salt.
We even, now we take
I
their
got their
electrolytes.
toothpaste, they got electrolytes, they got all a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and no radioactive minerals in your salt, kind of like what comes out of the Himalayas.
Yeah, and actually, there's more natural iodine in the salt than if you were to get iodized salt too. So it's good, and we all need iodine. That's something I didn't know until I started using Redmond real salt. Another one with Rachel Aluzzi. She's talking about meal prep. She's like, our kids are going to be spoiled because they have such amazing beef that's going with them to lunch. It's beef tenderloin actually, and she said that her children are eating that, which is freaking awesome. Delicious finger food, and it looks perfectly cooked, if I may say so myself.
So I have a story about school lunch.
Okay.
So when I was growing up,
Scared.
Can't wait to hear.
when I was growing up, school lunch consisted of cookies, Lunchables, like pretty much peanut butter and jellies, processed garbage, technically, right?
Chips Ahoy.
Yes.
Right, Chips Ahoy. I grew
Pizza.
up. I had a guy that was on the football team with me, right? His name was Chipper. Specimen, like a good athlete. And I didn't put two and two together at the time. But you know what he was eating?
What?
For lunch?
What?
Things like this: steak, broccoli.
No way.
And we're like what? Like
In-
all my
in
friends and us
elementary
were
school?
Like, no, high school.
Oh,
This
in
is
high school. Okay.
Yeah, in elementary school was even worse. But now in high school, and all my friends, everybody, we're like, what? Like, you bring this gourmet lunch to school and all this? And he's like, no, my mom packs it. We're like, man, that's pretty awesome. The rest of us are eating cookies, all this garbage. We're going in the lunch line at school, eating pizza, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, back then, now I think about it, I'm like, oh my goodness, no wonder.
Wow.
Could you imagine you're like in elementary school?
No.
You're eating your chicken patty.
Yeah.
And kid next to you is like, "What are you eating that for, Primal?"
Yeah, right? They're like, what? And literally,
oh
like,
my goodness gracious.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
That's awesome.
Start them young. Get them on the good stuff. That's really great. The more palatable that kind of food is.
The funny
better.
thing is,
That's
the
great
kids
stuff.
probably won't even want it. Like when people like usually, hey, let me get you some of your, like, they probably won't even want it. You're
They'd be
like,
like, good, more for me.
yeah.
More for me.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more quick ones. We got Heartland chicken breast chunks, which again, something convenient if you want to have a specific cut for your recipes. We got the breast chunks there for you, ready to go. Shrimp, and she did lobster pesto risotto with artichokes and sun-dried tomatoes. Oh my goodness! Again, this is another one of those professional-looking dishes. I feel like you're getting this at a restaurant. Wow, Jennifer, great work.
Love artichoke.
See another one, Christy Bodge again. I wanted to feature this one because she did the flounder, and again, she roasted this with garlic and herbs and steamed broccoli on the side. So this one's simple, it's good for you,
Looks great.
and delicious.
Yep.
Good stuff. Justin, this one's you, so maybe you could talk a little about it. I know Simon mentioned it at the beginning, but it looks like you got a couple ground meats here on the right, and you got some seasoning.
The Siete, that's a good brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, be careful with your seasoning packs. Again, back to convenience. I like convenience, so I just take out a pound of ground beef, pound of ground chicken, pound of ground turkey. That's my meal prep basically every week.
Nice.
Sometimes I'll order something different, switch it up, and it literally just sits in my freezer because I just creature of habit. This is what I eat. So I cook that, and I use the Siete pack because it doesn't have any preservatives, nasty ingredients in the seasonings. You'd be surprised at what some of these companies put in their seasoning packs. They're very, very toxic. So even the quality of your seasoning really matters.
Yep.
Absolutely.
MSG, all kinds of different
Things that
chemicals.
preserve it so it doesn't cake, citric acids, things like that maybe, you don't really want in there.
Just extra chemicals. I mean, when you're trying to stay away from,
Yeah.
especially, if you have an autoimmune disorder or something like that, and you're really paying attention to the ingredients, even though if you don't have an autoimmune disorder, you should still be paying attention to those things, because those are the type of things that do create those issues.
And I mean, we're talking
that's how you end up with autoimmune. If you blow holes in your gut wall and your body starts fighting itself, you just created a fake autoimmune issue.
Exactly. And to like adding sugars and things that are, you know, synthetic sugars and things like that to seasoning. So just something to look out for. And Siete has a bunch of different seasonings. They have a carnitas seasoning, the chorizo seasoning. They have a couple different ones, so definitely check those out. Yeah,
and the other thing to mention here is that, you know, like we always mention it too, it's about voting with your dollars. You want to go for those companies where if more people start buying stuff like the Siete brand or Thousand Hills Farms, regenerative agriculture, beef, and those kind of things, the market will then call for those things, and they'll have to switch up, you know what I mean, the processes of what they're doing. Right. The you know, the people that if you go and you see a seasoning and it has those ingredients that you don't want in it, and you stop purchasing that and you start purchasing something that is clean, it's just going to call for more people to get out there and kind of do those things. So, you know, vote with your dollars. Make sure you're looking out for the best ingredients and keeping yourself safe.
Absolutely.
Amen.
All right. John Kenny, once again, honey balsamic chicken using Murray's boneless, skinless chicken thighs, Heartland corn and peas, and basmati rice, which is also from Heartland. This was absolutely delicious. And what I love is he also put the link to the chicken recipe, which is an Instapot recipe. So zero cleanup, super easy, really fast, convenient, good stuff.
Yep. With the basmati rice. Justin, you're a fan, right?
And that was it.
I am a fan. Basmati is the best. If it's got to be organic, it's got to be white. We don't want any of that brown stuff, none of that wheat germ and gluten and blowing holes in your gut walls. No more lectins.
Yep. Yeah, we're learning about how bad those are.
Yep. I can just hear everybody just exploding at their phones right now listening to that. What? No wheat?
Yep.
It's so true. It's true. I mean, you know, when you start to look into it, and it's in the research, like you said, Justin, you can get that, you know, the wheat belly and all that kind of stuff. And you think about drinking beer. I mean, I'm culprit. You know what I mean? Like, we moved here, and the Trogs beer, which is from Pennsylvania, when we first moved here, I had one of those, and I was like, yo, this is fire. I even took one home. We had some at home, and then all of a sudden you find yourself, and you're like, oh, man, this is, you know what I mean? This isn't good. Like, doing that on a consistent basis every once in a while.
The toxic overload.
Right.
Which we always talk about.
But it contributes to weight gain, you know what I mean? To extra belly fat, all that kind of stuff. So it's best to, you know, get rid of it. Don't
Moderation.
Moderation, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, if you have a really strong, healthy gut and your brain and your gut brain's communicating well through your vagus nerve, you know, you can have a little bit every now and then.
Right.
Not the end of the world, but if you've kind of destroyed your gut, you're already not absorbing your food, you're blowing more holes in there, your aromatase is increasing your fat storage. I mean, you're on a path of exacerbating the problem. So get to a healthy place, have your cheat meals when you earn them, and you'll be fine for the long term.
There we go.
Great point. All right, well, this was fun. I always love to feature the Heartland Foodies recipes and all the posts. We love all of the posts that you guys are doing. Please keep it up. If there's any specific recipes that you guys would like us to share, or maybe something you'd want us to feature on an upcoming podcast, if you'd like to join us on an upcoming podcast, we'd love to have you. Definitely reach out to us on Instagram or Facebook at the Heartland Connect. And I mean, guys, this was an awesome episode. I'm starving now. But I guess unless there's anything else you guys would like to add, Justin, you can go ahead and send us off.
Beautiful. I think we got it. So we'll be back again next week. As always, stay healthy with Heartland.